All right. Thanks everyone for jumping on and taking some time to watch this hopefully short video, depending on how long it takes for us to explain some of the details of what we're going to go through here. But for those of you that don't know who we are, I'm Charles Buddy Custer, co-founder and executive director of the Humanity Preservation Foundation. And with me today, I've got...
I'm Rhett Hackett, co-founder and president of the same organization.
Just a great couple of guys trying to hang out with you on a wonderful evening, depending on when you're watching it. Could be Wednesday night. It might be Saturday. We don't know. But we wanted to take some time to put a quick video together just to kind of explain what's been going on with HPF over the last couple of months and what's coming forward in the next few months here as well from an event standpoint. Obviously, it's been a interesting and unique 2020 with the COVID-19, or the who must not be named. But we've obviously been scrambling a little bit as an organization. We've had to course correct. We've had to do a couple of unique things just to maintain funding and maintain our goals for this year. And it's been interesting, but I would say that we've done a pretty good job of maintaining. And we've learned some new traits and tricks, I should say, like how to make cool videos like this. And so the object of today is we wanted to sit down with Rhett. Usually Rhett is in my seat doing the talking and asking the questions on his show, Hands Off. And so I get the opportunity to sit down with him and kind of pick his brain on how it's been going in 2020 and really what he thinks about the upcoming events. And just to give you guys a little bit more information and a little bit more details. So, Rhett, I don't know if you're ready or not, but I'm
ready.
Into it.
Let's fire away.
All right. So we've got an event coming up here shortly. It's called Orange Meets Purple. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So this is a brand new event, and what we're doing is we are filling the gap. Bridging the gap between, we're connecting the childhood trauma that takes place and the addiction side of it that is often a symptom of a greater issue, and that being the childhood trauma. And as you know, people have followed kind of like what speaking events that we do, that I usually do one every year at the University of Penn. Speaking of differences, this year we did it virtual, but it was still a success. And this is one of the things that we talk about. And so we are going to dive into that. We've got some really personal stories. And one of them is with one of our volunteers that is a team member with us. And he's going to talk about his story and our experience that took place almost a year ago to the day of this event. But we did it as a breakfast. It's real nice and casual. September 26th at 9:30 a.m. and it's at the Madison, which is in Riverside. And the tickets are a nice price point of only $20. And we think that people are really going to get some great information from it. And you know, it's really going to be a learning experience for everybody. And we certainly hope that it's an event that will carry forward in the years to come. So
interesting. So take a step back. So you're saying that there is actually a direct correlation between addiction and trauma. Is that what I call it at the beginning?
Absolutely, sure. Yeah. So, you know, we speak on this topic quite often, and we know that childhood trauma creates a void, and you know, there hasn't been a lot of dialogue out there in the public, and a lot of people are really shocked when we break down the different types of traumas that we talk about, and that's what we're gonna examine and educate people. And so when it creates that void, as you get older and you become an adult and you're in your adult life, these things tend to resurface, and a lot of times we know that people that have experienced any type of trauma sometimes fill that void by numbing themselves out through drug and alcohol. And so that's really where kind of addressing that comes from. And we know that if you examine and you address the root cause of something, you have a better shot of healing overall. So
that makes sense. So orange meets purple is essentially sitting down with people that may have either had addiction, or maybe they know someone that has addiction and they've seen this sort of tie to trauma potentially happening in their lives, or they've seen it in the past, or they know someone. And the object of OMP, as we call it, is
yeah,
to kind of talk about it in a more casual breakfast setting, if I'm hearing.
absolutely. And I think one of the things that I really want to point out with this, what I find is really important, is that you can look up the connection between childhood trauma and addiction, and you can look up events. And most of those are professional based. So we're talking about like people that are in the medical field and attending these conferences. We wanted to do something that was public based, so that families and husbands and wives and whoever wanted to attend would be able to attend something like this and have the dialogue. And where this concept comes from is that our logo, primary color is orange, as we have the orange part. This event is happening in September, which is Overdose Awareness Month, and that color is purple. And so I mentioned that we're going to tell the story of one of our team members that took place last year. He comes from that background of the addiction side of it. And as he and I got to know each other and met, it really was like how we put things together, and it was orange met purple, and here we are. So it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's really crazy. But we say all the time that life puts you where you need to be, and certainly that was the case a year ago. And it'll be an interesting and a very moving story.
Good. Yeah, I know personally I'm looking forward to hearing it. I know a lot of other people are too, and it'll be I'm sure more than powerful. We say it's a powerful story here on the image, but it's going to be moving, I would imagine. So
yeah.
Well, it sounds like a pretty unique event. This is the first year, is that correct?
It is first.
Okay. So I guess hope to see you there.
Yeah.
September 26th, 9:30 to 1 p.m. at the Madison in Riverside, New Jersey. And as Rhett mentioned, ticket price is $20, and it's a casual event. You can show up, you can hang out, you can have some breakfast, and get some prizes and hear some good stories.
Yeah, be a good time. Alrighty, and so moving on, right?
Yeah, so what do we got next?
Yay, the Orange Tie Affair. So,
tell me, what's your, so we've had the Orange Tie Affair now for 2 years. This would be the third annual Orange Tie Affair, hosted at the Camden Aquarium in New Jersey along the waterfront there. I guess what's the first thing that you think of when you think about the OTA, or the Orange Tie Affair as we call it?
Well, it's my favorite part of the evening is the curtain rising and the revealing of the giant aquarium for all attendees to see. And I think that there's kind of like a little bit of a metaphor there about sharks being predators, and predators being those that harm children. And so there's always that anticipation of it happening at this venue. And having 2 years under the belt, I remember as we were beginning the planning stage, I was like, doesn't year 3 feel great, because we know exactly what we're doing, and we know what to expect, and we kind of just have to just like move through it, and it's a piece of cake. And so
well, then what happened?
Well, let me just demonstrate it. So yeah. So that same reason for what you started out this conversation with, how it's been a unique year. COVID-19 definitely put things on hold. We were 3 weeks from having the event, the original scheduled event at the aquarium in April, Child Abuse Awareness Month. And we had to put it on hold. And we made the decision, and it was the right decision, to say, okay, we're going to extend out really far and go all the way to October 23rd is when we were rescheduling this. And we
Feels
were
like,
like, by what?
so that feels like yesterday.
Does feel like yesterday. And remember saying, we were like, by October 23rd, this will be a thing of the past. And guess what? As you know, it is not a thing of the past. It is still current. And it's so current, in fact, that the aquarium, being an indoor event in the state of New Jersey, is not allowed to have anything. So we had to come up with a B plan. And we did.
Okay.
So
Okay. So what is your B plan here? I've seen a couple of promotional materials out there. I've seen some images. What are we thinking here?
yeah, so let's talk about that. We're still in the month of October, which, you know, when we were moving this, we all agreed how great it is. I mean, it doesn't get more orange than the month of October. We figured that if we're going to change up the OTA by the date, by the venue, and we were going to change up the style and the look, and we were going to kind of play off of the whole, you know, it's Halloween time and people like to dress up, and we still wanted to kind of keep it formal. So we have created the OTA Masquerade Ball, and our friends at the Madison, where we're having the Orange Meets Purple, their venue, because it's outdoor, they have a state-of-the-art tent and flooring system that they've been accommodating one wedding after the next. And they were able to get us in there for October 16th. It's a Friday night at 7 p.m. to 11 o'clock. And unlike, you know, so here are some of the differences. It's a formal sit-down dinner. It's a 4-course meal. It's an open bar. We'll still have a silent auction. We're going to have guest speakers. We are doing a best mask competition. And, you know, what I really want to emphasize is that although the venue and the date may have changed, the purpose remains the same. And it is definitely to create a focus and bring awareness to child abuse and domestic violence, the two main things that we cover as an organization, especially in a COVID-19 world. As you know, we focus a lot of efforts on creating awareness with people being trapped in their home with abusive people, and what that looks like. And this is our biggest fundraiser of the year. So it was really important for us that we had it in 2020, so that we would be able to have the funds to do some of the things that we are creating. And we also wanted to have that platform and that opportunity to be able to speak to the public and educate. So the ticket price is $80, and you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this. It's a beautiful setting. And I can show that if you'd like.
Yeah, well, so just talking about the Masquerade Ball. So in the past at the OTA, you've had a silent auction, you've had guest speakers, you've had live music, there's been food, and there's been a beer bar. But it sounds like there's a little bit more of a difference at the Masquerade Ball versus the OTA, and it almost sounds like you're getting more bang for your buck. So we're getting a sit-down dinner.
Mm-hmm. And I see you're getting ready.
You're getting, you're still getting a silent auction. What are we doing at the silent auction that's different, in case people are worried about standing over top of each other?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So not only will the tables be positioned so that there is proper social distancing, but we are fully executing our silent auction through our mobile application. And we are also fully prepared to have what is being auctioned off up on a screen, so that you really don't even have to leave your seat if you want to see what's going on. And you'll be able to bid on those right from your phone. And that way you don't have to congregate around the table if you're trying to stay away from large crowds.
Gotcha. And so I could wear an orange tie. I don't have to wear an orange tie, but the expectation is that I do wear some sort of masquerade mask, not only to fit in with the look and feel of the event, but also to enter into this best mask competition.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Here's the thing. So for security reasons, I haven't even been given the details of what the mask competition even looks like. And I don't know why, whether they think I'm going to like let people know, like, you know, what is the best angle to go in. But I think more so it's to bring out the creativity of individuals. And that word creative definitely has defined all of us during this time period, in being creative in the ways that we've been doing everything, whether it's working from home, educating our kids, virtual happy hours. So I think it's going to be a really interesting opportunity, and I'm looking forward to seeing what people are going to create with the masks and how we're going to like judge, and it's definitely interesting. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. It's something different, and I think that's what we were going for, was something different, and you know, I'm excited for it. So
yeah, I would completely agree. We wanted to obviously have some semblance of an event that was exciting and that people would want to kind of come out for. We know that people have been cooped up over the last couple of months, and the events and the sporting events and everything's kind of been few and far in between. And we know there may be some anxiety out there in terms of coming to an event with a number of people. We are taking precautions, and we'll get to those precautions in a second. But I just want to call out that we're excited for this event. It's different, it's unique, but it's also got some of the same look and feel that those of you that have attended OTAs in the past have become familiar with. And a lot of those revolve around hearing stories from either past victims, survivors, or caretakers, or those that are involved with making a difference in people's lives. We've got some great speakers lined up. We're going to have great auction items. We've got some great sponsors that we are thankful that have stuck around to support the event. And we're excited to be able to still have this large fundraising event. This is our largest fundraiser on an annual basis. And if we were to have to cancel this completely, there were some concerns on my part, at least. I know Rhett had some concerns as well. We were going to be losing a large portion of our funding. And we've got some great things planned for 2021 that may have had to be either put on the back burner or completely canceled. So yeah, we're excited that we can still do this. I know I'd probably speak for Rhett when I say that we're thankful that the Madison has been able to provide us a space and that they've been accommodating. We're obviously going to miss the aquarium this year, and we're going to miss the sharks. Maybe we'll have some goldfish on the tables. Or
Pepperidge Farm.
Exactly. No animals will be hurt during this event. But
yeah,
we are good.
No, you know, I wanted to piggyback on what you were saying in regards to the event and concerns. But on the flip side of this is I've actually heard people, as I've been talking about this and speaking to this event, saying that I have something to get dressed up for, because we haven't been doing that. And you know, people are looking forward to like kind of like getting themselves formalized and getting out there and kind of having like a good time, but be safe and smart. And I think that we have those two components. You know, they get to come out, have a good time, get dressed up. They're going to be safe and they're going to be smart because of the venue. And you talk about wrapping it up with a big orange bow, you're helping out a good cause all at the same time. So you know, and pun fully intended with bow and bow tie. So yeah,
that was a good one. Plus sit down dinner and an open bar.
You know, like you can't go wrong. So, and we got some really good stuff lined up for auction items. And then the other thing I wanted to piggyback on in 2021 is that I know for myself, I'm looking forward to speaking and letting people know kind of some of our plans for 2021, particularly getting into how we're integrating some of our material into the school system, which is, I think, hugely important. And people that attend, they'll be able to see that. So
yeah, I think that's a good teaser. I think we should leave it there, but I think that some of the stuff that's coming out next year will be extremely impactful.
yeah, awesome.
Cool. So how are we keeping people safe at this event?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So first of all, like, let's just take a look at this. This is where we're going to be for both events. For the Orange Meets Purple and for the Orange Tie Affair Masquerade Ball, OTA. And it looks magnificent. I mean, talk about like a really nice venue. And the Madison has really set up some pretty great safety standards. First of all, it is an outside venue. And the tent, the capacity is to fill it at 300, but we're only doing it at 220 for social distancing reasons. They've increased the number of sanitation stations. The servers obviously are going to be wearing masks and gloves. Any buffet area or open, and the reason why I'm saying it that way is because the Orange Meets Purple is a breakfast buffet, and that has the plexiglass on it. And the open bar, you can go up to the bar to get a drink, but that has plexiglass. You can also get a drink from a server as well too. And then there's obviously a sit-down dinner at the Masquerade Ball. So, and the other thing too is that if the event is canceled, which the only reason at this point that it would be canceled would be if the state of New Jersey had a total shutdown. Because the Madison is not doing that. They're not, they have no intentions on shutting down. So, but in the event that the event was canceled, we would refund people. I think we're poised to provide that safe environment and, just how we're going to handle it.
So outside tent, October. First thing that my mind goes to is, at least living in Wisconsin. Now, I know New Jersey is a little bit more mild of a temperature in October, but there is a potential for it to be a little bit chilly as we get close to Halloween there.
Mm-hmm.
Steps does the Madison take in case it is, say, in the 50s on an evening where we're asking people to possibly wear ball gowns?
Yeah, so they're fully prepared to have the tent heated. And the reverse of that is true. Sometimes here in New Jersey, we have a nice hot October, and currently right now it is ventilated properly with 38 fans inside of there, and those fans would be converted to heaters in the event that it was chilly and we needed to heat up the tent. So they are completely ready.
Still circulating air, which also is
absolutely. So, and I do want to point out that in the picture that you see with the tables, that is an actual floor. That is not the parking lot that people are sitting on. It is a state-of-the-art raised floor that has a drainage system underneath so that there's like no ponding of any water in the event that something like that were to take place. And that, combined with the size of it and the steps that they're doing, is the reason why we wanted to go with this venue for this. We were originally only going to have Orange Meets Purple, and it was going to be indoor. And because of the way that things happened, it's going to be outdoor. And in my conversation with them, she was talking about how they're accommodating one wedding after the next. And when the aquarium wasn't moving to an outdoor, I talked to them on the phone, and they were happy to accommodate us with what we needed. And they're really going above and beyond to make sure that people have a nice event but are still safe.
Yeah, oh, that's good to hear. Thankful. We can definitely appreciate all that the Madison is doing for us. And it sounds like if we have anybody considering breakdancing, it's good to know that they're not going to be breakdancing on the blacktop. They've got an actual state-of-the-art flooring with a covering, and their hands will stay nice and safe.
Absolutely. And I know that was my concern for my breakdancing moves, but we'll save them for another event.
Those are all legitimate concerns.
Yeah, absolutely. So probably the Arthritis Foundation. But just to recap real quick, because our fear in this having two side-by-side events, one September, one October, same venue, is that people were going to get confused as to what they were. So you have Orange Meets Purple. It's a breakfast. It's September 26th, and it's at the Madison in Riverside. And then you have the OTA Masquerade Ball. That is October 16th at 7 p.m. And that's at the Madison Cafe in Riverside. So same venue, two different dates, 2 different months, 2 different reasons to have it. And, but all still a great cause and a great time. And I hope people can make both. Right now we have 2 incentives too. People that purchase a ticket from now until August 31st for the Orange Meets Purple, they automatically get entered into a drawing for an iPad. And for the Masquerade Ball, up until I believe it is October 1st, they get entered in for a 40-inch flat screen HD TV. And you know, we wanted to do something a little bit special just for people because, you know, we know that we appreciate them being flexible with us moving that event. And honestly, I will tell you that for the Orange Meets Purple, we chose an iPad because we know that we're talking about addiction and recovery and meetings, and during the whole shutdown, it was a little bit kind of like difficult for individuals in the beginning, but you know, there's a lot of online meetings, and we thought that an iPad really kind of accommodated that for anybody that, you know, might need some sort of device to connect with, you know, with sponsors and meeting and fellowship. So
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. We really have, and just real quick before we get off of this, we've got to throw it out to our team, and we're definitely going to be highlighting them at the Masquerade Ball, but a dynamic group, really.
That's a great word for it. That's there's been a lot thrown at this group over the last few months, and it was an opportunity for any of our volunteers to kind of step back and say, you know what, I've got to deal with teaching my kids as a 4th grade English teacher now, while also managing my meetings and conference calls in the afternoon, and I've got to make dinner, and there's tons of excuses that are out there that our team could have taken, and they've surely done a great job of being nimble and dynamic, as Rhett said, and they've introduced some great things into our toolkit that I think are going to be long annual events, such as a virtual 5K. We've got a virtual bingo event, which if you weren't part of that was an interesting one. We had a virtual happy hour as well, and it's just been one after the other while still planning for some of our larger educational and awareness initiatives that are out there making a difference. And Rhett's right. We wouldn't be able to do stuff like this in such a short amount of time if it wasn't for the team that we've got in place.
Yeah. And really to point out, since March 14th, we have been meeting every single Tuesday since March 14th. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So
Nobody's
bravo, and we can't wait to share more of that.
Nobody is paid to do this. They're all volunteering their time at will, and it's very appreciated.
Yeah. So
all right. So I don't have any questions, but if someone else has a question, how can they reach us?
Well, here you go. So there's both of our email addresses. And I know that we're going to be posting this on social media, so we'll include ticket links, and people can reach out to us. And
yeah, if you would like a copy of this, please reach out to Rhett or myself. You can message us on Facebook. You could DM us on Instagram, as the kids are saying these days. We don't have a TikTok, but we do have a LinkedIn, so you could send us a message on LinkedIn as well. And really, we hope to see you there. We hope that this video helped kind of clear the air between the 2 events, kind of gave you some information on what to expect, and at least a little peek behind the curtain into what's been going on the last couple of months with the Humanity Preservation Foundation. Rhett, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think I couldn't think of anything better than to how you just phrased that to end this. So I think we're good.
Nice. Well, if you watch the master at work during his special hands-off episodes, you'll learn a thing or two. through osmosis. And so it's been a pleasure getting to watch the difference that Rhett makes and continues to make. And we'll see you in September or October, or maybe at both.
Or both. So see ya.
Thanks, everyone.